सान्द्रानन्दावबोधात्मकमनुपमितं कालदेशावदिभ्या निर्मुक्तं नित्यमुक्तं निगमशतसहस्रेण निर्भास्यमानम् अस्पष्टं दृष्टमात्रे पुनः उरुपुरुषार्थात्मकं ब्रह्मतत्त्वं तत्तावत् भाति साक्षात् गुरुपवनपुरे हन्त भाग्यं जनानाम् बाहुद्वन्द्वेन रत्नोज्ज्वलवलय भृता शोणपाणिप्रवाळेनोपाता वेणुनाळी प्रसृतनखमयूखाङ्गुली सङ्गशारा कृत्वा वक्त्रारविन्दे सुमधुरविकसद् रागमुद्भाव्य मानैः शब्दब्रह्मामृतैः त्वं शिशिरितभुवनैः सिञ्च मे कर्णवीथि.
Gurupavanapure Hantabhagyam Jananam. Namaskaram to all the Astikas. We have been seeing how Bhagavan took the avatara of Varaha. When different parts, many parts of Mother Earth, Bhuma Devi, were submerged in the unnatural floods coaxed and caused by the very tyrant brother of Hiranyakashipu, the son of Diti and Kashyapa, called as Hiranyaksha. Swayambhuva Manu went in the presence of Brahma Swayambhu and complained. Brahma, who thought of the lotus feet of the Lord, was equally in trouble and distressed. From his nasaputam, from his nostril, emerged as a Shishu Kolarupi, as an infant wild boar. Then that wild boar took the size of a kumbhi, of an elephant. Then Shailamatraha, that is to the size of a mountain. He tore open the clouds with his tail standing upwards, with the hair, dark red hair all over his body in a horripilated state, with a ghora, ghur sound. He was being praised by the rishis for his presence. Then, in order to spot the asura and kill him, and thereby uplift those areas of Mother Earth which was forcefully submerged in the deluge waters, he took a plunge. What happened next? Antarjalam tadanu sankula nakra chakram bhramyatti mingilakulam kalushormimalam avishya bhishana ravena rasatalasthán akampayan vasumatim agaveshyayastvam tadanu avishya antarjalam, thereby entering the waters, these waters of deluge, kalusha urmi malam, that had so many waves. It looked as if there was a chain of waves. We know waves never end. As we see one wave touching our feet, the next wave will come. So it looked like a chain of waves. Kalusha urmimalam, a chain of waves. Sankula nakra chakram, as he took a plunge, he saw alligators. So he says Sankula nakra chakram bhramyat timingila kulam. When a group of whales, they also started whirling around. Tvam agaveshayaha vasumatim. That time Bhagavan with his lotus-like eyes in the form of a kolarupi, as a wild boar, started searching for those portions of Mother Earth which were submerged. So he says, Tvam Agaveshyaha Vasumati. Agaveshyaha, Vasumati is Mother Earth. Agaveshyaha, you started searching her in all directions. How? Bhishana Ravena, with a frightful roar, that sound. See, the sound of Bhagavan is very important, because when he emerged as Hayagriva Swarupam, we say Samahara Samnam Pradipadamrucham Dhamayirusham Layaf Pratyuhanam Lahari Vitatir Bodhajaladehe Kathadat Pakshubhyat Kathakakula Kolahala Bhavam Haratu Antardhvantam Hayavadana Hesha Halahalaha Hayavadana Hesha Halahalaha, with the sound of Halahala, Halahalaha, Hesha Halahalaha. So Hal and Ahal are vowels and consonants, thereby giving rise to knowledge. So even a sound carries so much of importance. When he breathes in and breathes out, we say that is where the swaras of the Vedas emerge. So Ghora Gurguraihi Sankula Nakra Chakram Bhramyat Timingila Kulam, with the whales going around. Tvam Agaveshayaha Vasumati. He searched for Vasumati Bhumi Bhishana Ravena, with a frightful roar. Akampayan Rasatalasthan. Even those creatures or beings which were living even below that, Rasatalasthan, they got frightened. They have never heard of such a sound at high decibel. So they were all threatened. Then what happened? Drishtvath Daitya Hatakena Rasatalante Samveshitam Jhatiti Kuta Kitir Vibhotvam Apatukan Aviganaya Surari Khetan Damshtrankurena Vasudam Adadha Salilam Atha Drishtva Vasudham Samveshitam. He called Bhumi Devi by various names. When you read Narayaṇīyam, you will get to know the dictionary as well. Vasudha, Vasumati, Mahi, Kshma, Kshiti. These are the words that he keeps using for Bhumi Devi. Here he says, Atha Drishtva, having seen, Vasudham, Samveshitam, after having seen Vasudham, that particular wealth-giving Vasudha, Mother Earth, Rasatalante Daitya Hatakena, at the bottom of the Rasatala, by the wicked Asura. So there was a wicked Asura who was found in that particular place. He Vibho Tvam Kutakitihi. So in that particular place of Rasatala, he spotted parts of earth which were submerged by that Asura. So Bhagavan was able to spot it. He Vibho Tvam Kutakitihi. You took that form of a wild boar. Small one he came, now he became huge. Aviganaya Surari Khetan. Ignoring those Asuras who would cause havoc. You were born as that Varaha. Apatukan Jhatiti Adadhaha. So you, looking at you, uplifting those regions of earth which were submerged. Udhrutasi Varahena Krishnena Shatabahuna. Looking at this, Apatukan Jhatiti Adadhaha. Now, looking at that, other rishis were startled. They said, what is happening? We are seeing a wonder here, because it's one of the earliest avatars. That time Bhagavan Jhatiti Adadhaha Damshtrankurena Salilam. Damshtra Ankurena. So it is believed that these wild boars have some extensions like Damshtra. They look like tusks of an elephant. They say that this is like the teeth. So these Damshtras, he says, Damshtrankurena Salilam. He lifted Mother Earth. So this lifting of Mother Earth happened. Damshtrankurena Salilam Apatukan Jhatiti Adadhaha. So he quickly lifted. Now what happened after that? Next comes the 10th shloka, the last shloka of this Dashakam. Abhyudharan atadharam dashanagra lagna mustankurankita ivadhika pivaratma uddhuta ghora salila jaladherudanchan Krida Varaha Vapurishwara Pahi Rogat. Hey Ishvara, O Supreme Bhagavan, Tvam Krida Varaha Vapuhu. In the sportive form of a boar, Adhika Pivaratma, with a vastly expanded body, Udanchan Jaladhehe, emerging from the ocean. See, you're emerging from the ocean, lifting those parts of earth which were submerged. Imagine Varaha in his state lifting. So he says, Adhika Pivaratma, Udanchan Jaladhehe, emerging from the ocean. Now we have to remember, when I say ocean, it doesn't mean necessarily saltwater ocean. It means something which is of marshes. It looks vast. So Bhagavan emerged. This is where I need to remind you of two incidents. In Ramayanam, when Maricha, the relative to Ravana, comes in the form of a gem-studded golden deer to lure Sita. Sita is, of course, fascinated by that deer. She tells Rama, Rama, please get that deer, fetch that deer for me. Rama agrees. That time, Lakshmana wants. He says, see, this looks like a ploy of the Rakshasas. Because if you see this particular gem-studded golden deer, when the other deers of the forest sense that there is a deer around, they come closer to this smell and run away in fear. Because there is a Rakshasa Shakti in this deer. This is not an original deer. It could be Maricha, my dear brother and sister-in-law. Beware, do not ask for the deer. So what do we see? When Maricha came as a gem-studded golden deer, internally he thought he was still a Rakshasa. Externally alone, he came in the disguise of a deer. On the other hand, let's come to Varaha Avataram. When Bhagavan was born as Varaha, took the avataram of Varaha, the remaining pigs in the world, the boars in the world, they sensed that there is a new entry. As they came to the new entrant, they immediately smelled this pig and started hugging. In contrast with the incident of Ramayana, where Maricha came as a deer, the other deers smelled and ran away. What does this indicate? When Bhagavan came as a boar, internally too, he thought that he is a Varaha. He did not have the garbham that I am Paramatma. In his Swarupam too, he thought he was a deer. Unlike Maricha, who thought he was a Rakshasa. So, that is why Andal says, Manam ila Pandri in the Tamil language. What does Manam ila Pandri mean? That means the one who does not have Abhimanam. The one who doesn't have that Abhimanam that I am Paramatma who has come as Varaha. No. In his creation, in his avatar, he thought that I am like any other Varaha. This simplicity, accessibility is what makes Bhagavan truly a Bhagavan. So here it is said, Uddhuda Ghora Salila, when he emerged with those parts of Mother Earth that were already submerged, there Atha Abhyudharan Dharam, lifting up the earth. Abhyudaya. So he lifted up that particular part of earth which was already submerged, which was caused damage by Hiranyaksha. Dashanagra Lagna Musta Ankura Ankitaha Iva. Like how a certain blade of mushta grass is lifted through the tusks of Varaha. See, the point is, Bhaṭṭatiri says this was not a Herculean task for Bhagavan to lift those parts of earth which were submerged. He took it as a child's play. That is why one of the poets says, like how to a tuber, two crescent moons were attached. Look, Bhagavan's face it seems. And when he lifted earth, it was just like a child's play, like how a child would lift a toy. Bhagavan lifted parts of Mother Earth that were submerged. Dashanagra lagna musta ankura ankitaha iva pahimam rogat. Hey Bhagavan, pahimam rogat. Won't you remove the diseases that have been tormenting me? Now that you have lifted parts of Mother Earth, which is a Herculean task, like a child's play, for you to remove my ailment, for you to cure me. Will that be such an arduous task, Bhagavan? So he keeps pleading to Krishna Vasudeva, like Varaha, who protected earth, please protect me as well.
कल्याणरूपाय कलौ जनानां कल्याणदात्रे करुणासुधाब्दे कंवादिदिव्यायुधसत्कराय वातालयाधीश नमो नमस्ते। नारायण 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 नारायण